We're not talking about what it will do for August. That's future me's problem. Welcome to another one of my videos. It is that time of the month again. We are going to talk about the books that I will be reading in July. I have got my TBR jar right here, ready to go. It's got some prompts in it. This is like my favorite way to figure out what books that I'm gonna read. Sometimes I get through them, sometimes I don't. I find myself in quite the mix of mood reading and then getting to the books that are on my TBR. So I'm gonna do like I normally do. I'm gonna pick 6 books and then I am going to have my book bingo pick, and then there will be a book that I'll be reading with my club in July, but we don't normally know what book that's going to be until close to the second week of the month. We're going to go ahead and do this. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get to all of them. We're getting really close to it being time to do my competition, and you guys, situations that I wasn't expecting happened, and what I had been working on got destroyed, so I have to start all over again in my sewing, and it involved my watch. I was wearing my watch and it got like caught up in some strings, and then I ended up yanking, and it ended up being so bad that I have to redo what I had done. Hours worth of work that I have to redo. Now the good news is I know exactly what I'm gonna do now, so it's not gonna take as much time. Every pattern that I created myself, I always save. Until I'm completely done with something, I don't get rid of the patterns that I make for my cosplay. So it's not gonna take even half as long as it did in the beginning, because I already did all the legwork and I already know what I need to do. I just need to get it done. I am gonna pick the 6 books, but honestly, guys, it's as good as anybody's guess on if I'm actually going to get to any of them. You know what? We're being optimistic here. You know, books are going to happen. I promise that's not going to change. Books are going to happen, and I will be talking about them because it's my happy place. So sit down, grab your drink, and let's chat. Okay. Book prompt number 1. I'm sorry if you guys can hear a bunch of noise in the background. This is literally the last video you guys are going to see of me in this location. Everything is done for our home. We're getting ready to move in a couple days. There's a lot of noise going on out there. Kids are doing packing, and there's a lot going on, okay? So I apologize now. So first prompt is a book published this year. Okay, this prompt works out great because usually at the end of these videos, I also let you guys know what books are coming out in the month that we're talking about. So then you know what kind of books I'm looking forward to as well. I kind of tie those in together. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that now, because I think what I'm gonna do for the reading a book that's been published this year, I'm going to read one of the books that's coming out in July that I'm really excited about. So first off, we have Burn of the Everflame, which is book 4 in the Kindred Curse saga. So far I've only read 2 of the books, but I do own the 3rd book. I just haven't gotten to it yet. The series isn't turning out, at least book 2 wasn't my favorite, but I'm hoping it's going to get better, so I don't want to just give up on the series. So I am looking forward to that book, but I still do have to read book 3. We also have Sea of Charm, which is part of the Spell Shop series by Sarah Durst. Guys, I'm so looking forward to this book. Oh man, I love the series. The first 2 books were The Spell Shop and The Enchanted Greenhouse, and I loved those books so much, and I'm really looking forward to book 3. Yes, sign me up right away. Okay, and those are the only ones that I know of that are coming out in July, so I think for my book prompt, I'm gonna pick Sea of Charmed, book 3 in the Spell Shop series. Yes, I'm here for it. I know exactly who the FMC of the book is going to be, because you meet her in The Enchanted Greenhouse, and I absolutely loved her character the minute she was introduced, and it looks like we're going to have a lot of open seas type of stuff going on. It's going to definitely give some summery vibes, and I'm here for it. So for book 1, we're going to do the Sea of Charm. Basically, you have this girl who, she has her own boat, her own like ship, and she basically makes her money by ferrying people from to different islands and back and forth from different islands, and then she'll also deliver mail to these different islands and things like that. And it's kind of how you meet her. When the capital city gets taken down by rebels, she starts ferrying people out of the city, and she just so happens to meet one guy that she is ferrying somewhere. And I believe that the romance is between the two of them. I'm not exactly sure all that's going to ensue or entitle. I'm just really excited to be in this story, in this world again, because Sarah, the author, she does an amazing job of telling this beautiful, enchanted story. A series that's actually very low, I would say practically zero, almost zero spice. I wouldn't quite say it's a young adult because I don't think she qualifies this particular series as a YA. I could be wrong, so I would double check if you're really curious about that, but I don't think it's a YA. It is like romance and fantasy. The romance aspects of it are very, very low key. I would say on the Richter scale of spice, it'd be like 0.5, you guys. Like, there's kissing and they talk about hints of attraction and things like that. Yeah, they get together because they are romance books, but it's just, I've read YA books that are more spicy than these books have been. So if Hallmark movies had elements of fantasy, that would be kind of what you'd be looking at in this series. And so it's just very nice, very refreshing, very clean, very beautiful telling. The romance between the characters is just, oh, it's like heart melting. Okay, book number 2. Let's see what we got. Looks like another small one here. Number in the title. So a book with a number in the title. You guys, I don't know if I have one of those. Like, maybe a long time ago when I first decided to put this prompt in there, like I was thinking that maybe it would work, but I don't know if it will anymore. I'll be right back, but we might have to pick a different prompt. Okay, as I was going and looking at my books, I had a complete duh moment. Okay, I don't own the book yet, but I do plan on purchasing it. I've just been waiting until we get into our new home before I order my next set of books that I have coming. It's like in my cart, just waiting. So I'm hopefully gonna be able to do that in like the next week. I have several weeks. Like, I'm filming this video early because I know that I'm gonna be so busy packing and moving, I'm not gonna have time to film and edit videos. So this book will definitely be here for my reading in July. The book I chose is Keeping 13. Okay, it's the Boys of Tommen series. This is book 2. This is a continuation of Johnny and Shannon's story. I will admit I'm a tiny bit nervous because when I read Binding 13, which is book 1, it like put me in the world's craziest funk afterwards. All I wanted to do was like live in their world, and no other book could do it for me. So I'm hoping, I think the biggest part of it was because I'd only read book 1 and their story doesn't conclude until Keeping 13. And so I'm hoping that once I read Keeping 13, it'll help die down things, because I will be getting a conclusion to their story. It won't feel like it's still on this giant cliffhanger where I have to know what's going to happen. The Boys of Tommen, these are boys who play rugby in Ireland. So you've got Johnny, who is the MNC, and you have Shannon, who is the FMC. Shannon has been like bullied like her whole life. She's had a hard home life, a hard school life. So she gets transferred to this new school, and then she ends up meeting Johnny in just the craziest of funniest ways, at least in my opinion. It's just something about her that right away just draws him in, and he can't be away from her. She's just like everything to him. But at the same time, he wants to be a professional rugby player, and he's got so much going on. He's already got deals signed, like people want him after he's done with school. So he's got all of these pressures on him to be the greatest. And he's also dealing with an injury, and he's like, he's trying to fight his attraction with Shannon because she is a distraction that he can't afford right now. Obviously, in true romantic fashions, that never pans out the way that, you know, they think it's going to. Let's just leave it at that. But he tasks himself to be kind of like her protector, to keep her safe and make sure that nobody bothers her while she's at school. Shannon and Johnny live in my soul. Like, I think about them all the time. So getting to read this in July is just epically awesome. I'm excited for it. Honestly though, I'll probably save it more towards the end of the month, so that way we're not talking about what it will do for August. That's future me's problem. All right, book 3. So far I have not had a physical book to show you guys. Oh well. Oh well, I do have two, technically I have two TBRs. I have the TBR, my TBR shelf, which is my physical books, and then I have my TBR that's like a list in my Amazon that of books that I want. I just haven't gotten around to purchasing them yet. It still counts. It's still my TBR. It's just not my physical one. All right, here's the next one, guys. And this one's a long one. Okay, the next book in a series that you haven't finished. Well, that's half of the books on my shelf. They're everywhere. You know what, guys? I think I know what I'm gonna do. So I decided to pick Children of Fallen Gods. This is book 2 in the War of Lost Hearts. Book 1 is Daughter of No Worlds. And you guys, I absolutely loved the first book. It was incredible. I loved how the story was told. I loved like everything about it. You have a girl named Tashana who started out as a slave, and she manages to escape, goes to these like this Tower of Magic people and asks for their help to not only just train her to be a magic user, but also to help her to be able to go back and rescue the people that she had to leave behind when she escaped. She ends up working with this grumpy guy who doesn't actually want to train her, but he has no choice. So it's kind of a story about like their relationship and how it unfolds and how he teaches her and they fall for each other, and it's just so beautiful. The guy, the MMC of this book, his name's Maxentarius. They just call him Max for short. Oh my gosh, you guys, I love this series. I loved everything about it. It had so many twists and turns in the first book, just left me guessing. And honestly, you know, any book that can keep me going, what is a book I want to read, because that doesn't happen to me very often. I'm really looking forward to this book, but I'm also a little nervous too, because I'm going to be honest, so far this year, there's been a couple books that are part of series that I had been looking forward to, and they just weren't as great for me as their first books were. You know what? We got to move on with our lives, and not every book is the same. And so far there's 3 books in the series. I do not know if there's going to be a 4th book yet. I haven't even looked that up because like I'm so far from there right now. But yeah, this is book 2, and so far there's 3 books out. This is gonna be a great book to read in July. Okay guys, I'm liking my prompt so far. So let's just keep the momentum going. We can do that, right? Okay. Which one should I pick? Well, I guess we're picking this one because that one's long. A book written by 2 or more authors. Oy vey. Okay, so the book that I'm going to pick is another one that I don't have the physical copy for yet, but it's also on my list of books that I want to purchase. I'm going to do Lightwing by Suzanne Valenti and Caroline Peckman. They are the Twisted Sisters. They are the authors that wrote Zodiac Academy. And I read Hollow, which was book 1, and you guys, I absolutely loved that book. And so I'm really looking forward to getting into book 2. So I think that that's a book I was going to do. I was debating on reading the next book in the Zodiac Academy series because I think I'm on to book 7. But honestly, I haven't been in the mood for a Zodiac Academy, guys. I feel horrible. They're good books. The stories are amazing. It's just they are getting a little repetitive. I definitely loved Hollow, and so I really do want to read the next book in that series, so that's what we're gonna do. You have a girl who doesn't train, but like in this world you have this like magical forest that's slowly eating the country and taking over cities and stuff. And so once every so many years, I think it's like 10 years or something like that, these champions train to basically go into the forest because it like opens up and allows people to go in there, and they have a chance to stop this forest blight. The main character girl, she ends up not going in as a champion, but she trains herself in small ways. And then she like ends up sneaking herself into the forest. There, she has to survive all of these like horrible, horrendous things that come out at night and things like that. It's just, she just has to fight to survive. And then along the way, she meets an elf guy who is like really strong, really powerful, and they kind of working together to try to survive. And amongst all of this, you have to tame these spirits. And like whoever tames the most spirits has a better chance to get this wish that they want, save the forest and save their country. It's kind of like, you know, you get a wish, but you also get to save your country. Then you've got like the humans and you've got the elves, and of course they're, you know, they don't get along with each other. as usual. So it always causes a little bit of issue between the FMC and the MMC because he's an elf, she's a human. And so they're always like bickering. And I don't know, I just loved everything about the book and I loved how it ended. And I'm definitely looking forward to finding out what happens in book 2 and how they're going to overcome the obstacles that were created at the end of the first book. Okay, book 5. Let's see. What do we get for book 5? Another long one. Let's see. A sweet and fluffy romance. A sweet and fluffy. I like sweet and fluffy. Let's do a sweet and fluffy. So we're going to continue the tradition of books that I don't have yet that are on my digital TBR, or that are in on my Amazon TBR that I haven't purchased yet but will, because this is a book I definitely want to read. I read book 1 and you guys, it was amazing. Things We Hide from the Light by Lucy Score. This is book 2 in the Knockmount series, and book 1 was incredible. I loved the MMC, I loved the FMC, and I'll be honest, even when I was reading the synopsis for Things We Never Got Over, which was book 1, I wasn't expecting all of the events that went down to go down the way that they went down. It actually surprised me. I was very impressed with that book. That is going to be my next light and fluffy. And I mean, yeah, it's going to have some trigger warnings probably in there, and it's going to have some elements of some darkness in there, I'm pretty sure. But it's definitely going to be more light and fluffy than a romantasy would be. You meet Nash in book 1, and I absolutely love him, so it's going to be a really cool story to read as well. So, Nash Morgan was always known as the good Morgan brother, with a smile and a wink for everyone. But now, this chief of police is recovering from being shot, and his southern charm has been overshadowed by panic attacks and nightmares. Aw, poor guy. He feels like a broody shell of the man he once was. Nash isn't about to let anyone in his life know he's struggling, but his new next-door neighbor, smart and sexy Lena, sees his shadows. I had a feeling it was going to be them. As a rule, she's not a fan of physical contact unless she initiates it, but for some reason Nash's touch is different. He feels it too. The physical connection between them is incendiary, grounding him and making her wonder if exploring it is worth the risk. Too bad Lena's got secrets of her own, and if Nash finds out the real reason she's in town, he'll never forgive her. Uh-oh. Besides, she doesn't do relationships, ever. A hot, short-term fling with a local cop? Absolutely. Sign her up. A relationship with a man who expects her to plant roots? No freaking way. When she gets what she's after, she has no intention of sticking around. But Knockmount has a way of getting under people's skin, and once Nash decides to make Lena his, he's not about to be dissuaded, even if it means facing the danger that nearly killed him. Yes, it's got like a small town charm with emotional depth. I mean, you guys, it's gonna be amazing. Oh, poor guy. Here's a popular highlight. Everyone was alive and breathing. Everyone but me. I was just pretending. It's probably Nash, you guys. It happens to him in book 1, and honestly, I thought it had connection to things that happened in book 1, but I'm starting to think it's a whole different thing, and we're gonna figure out what that was in book 2, and I'm here for it. So yeah, it's still gonna have its coziness. Again, Lucy Score does a really great way of building these small towns where you're just like a big giant family in this community of people. She did not disappoint in the first book at all, and so I'm looking forward to getting back into the world and getting to see Days and Way again. Yes, please. It's gonna be a good time. Okay, book 6. Okay, this is gonna be the last book on my TBR, and then we're gonna go for the book bingo. Okay. They were intertwined. They didn't want to leave each other alone. Let's see. A book you have had for a long time. Okay. I think it might be time to bite the bullet. So the book I picked because it's been on my TBR shelf for a long time, and it's also been on a few of my monthly TBRs, I think quite a few times last year. I think it's time to actually bite the bullet and do it and read Heartless Hunter. Some of you who have been following me for a while are probably going, oh yeah. I don't know, like I was all hyped about this book. I bought book 1 and 2. I was really hyped about it, really excited about it, and then people read it and they were not saying the nicest things about this book. on their YouTube, and it freaked me out. And ever since then, I have been a little gun shy to read this book. Maybe July will just be that month that I get it done and actually read it. Enemies to Lovers doesn't get more high stakes than a witch and a witch hunter falling in love. On the night Rune's life changed forever, blood ran in the streets. Now, in the aftermath of a devastating revolution, witches have been diminished from powerful rulers to outcasts, ruthlessly hunted due to their waning magic, and Rune must hide what she is. Spending her days pretending to be nothing more than a vapid young socialite, Rune spends her nights as the Crimson Moth, a witch vigilante who rescues her kind from being purged. When rescue goes wrong, she decides to throw the witch hunters off her scent and gain the intel she desperately needs by courting the handsome Gideon Sharp. He's a notorious and unforgiving witch hunter, loyal to the revolution, and too late, Rune realizes she might be falling for him. Gideon loathes the decadence and superficiality Rune represents, but when he learns the Crimson Moth has been using Rune's merchant ships to smuggle renegade witches out of the Republic, he inserts himself into her social circles by pretending to court her. He soon realizes that beneath her beauty and shallow facade is someone fiercely intelligent and tender who feels like his perfect match. Except, what if she's the very villain he's been hunting? It sounds really, really good. Can't hide from it forever. And again, just reading the back of it again just really, really, really makes me want to read it. So here we're gonna go. Picking something. Gideon left his horse. How dare you leave your horse? That's it. I'm done. How dare him? Horses are the best. I don't know. We're gonna read it, and it's gonna happen in July. That's gonna be the month that will be forever stamped as the day when I, the Phoenix Library, finally read Heartless Hunter. Stay tuned. Is it gonna happen? I don't know. We'll see. Okay, guys, it's time for my book bingo. Okay, here's how it's looking right now. It's looking a little bare right now because, again, I am filming this way up ahead of time and I haven't gotten around to reading the book prompt for June's book bingo. So I'm gonna go to my app over here. I'm gonna go to my spin the wheel, and let's start with the number line. We'll do the number line first. Okay, so 2. Now let's do our alphabet line. Okay, so we have D2. Okay, D2. Okay, that's not bad. Book from a new author. Okay, that's easy enough. I haven't read any of Kristen I can't, you guys, I don't want to say her last name because I don't want to butcher it. I would feel super bad. Chirelli? Kristen Chirelli? I'm so sorry if that was totally butchered. I feel bad. But I haven't read any of her books yet, so she's a new author. So, you guys, everything is pointing out for me to read this frickin' book in July. Everything is pointing at it. This is just more incentive to read this book because if I don't finish my, I don't get to mark off my book bingo. All right, that concludes all of the books that I'm gonna read in July. It is gonna be a super fantastic list. I'm really excited. I always get really excited when I pick my new books because it's just something about knowing what I'm gonna read is kind of fun, even though, you know, I still have my mood reads. I'm a mood reader at the end of the day, guys. I'm a mood reader. It does help that a lot of the books on my TBR are books that I do want to read. It's just, I don't know. It's just fun to do it this way. I really enjoy it. Does anybody else use a TBR jar, or maybe cards or some kind of prompts to pick the books that they're gonna read, or are they just completely mood readers? It surprises them when they just decide they want to read it. Let me know down in the comments below. I will see you guys in my next video when we talk about all the books that I read in June, and that video will be in a new location. So I'm so excited. By the time you guys are watching this video, I am in the mix of doing a big move. So yay, I'm super excited. We're just like a couple days away. We're waiting to, we just basically got our clear to close. Now we're just waiting to do our final walkthrough of our house, and then we're gonna go sign our paperwork. and get our keys, and we're super excited. So there's a lot of packing and a lot of stuff going on. That's going to be an interesting pack, which as soon as I'm done with this video, that's where I'm heading. So there will be some videos coming out in my new location. I want to do a bookshelf tour with you guys because a lot of my books have been in storage for the past 4 years. So before I started this channel, and I have a lot of books that I want to show you guys and go through with you guys and talk about. So I hope you're looking forward to some of those videos. I hope everybody has a fantastic week, and you know what? Stay cool out there because I know it's supposed to be in the 90s around here. We're gonna die. But stay cool, guys, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.